with your host, Andrew Romanella.
When you play Battle in Mario Kart and you don't turn off any of the items, there are bananas everywhere. I mean, it's like you're losing your balloons because you're slipping on bananas left and right. Bananas everywhere. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com. Broadcasting live on YouTube and X. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. Welcome into another version of the program here on a Wednesday. It's December 11th, 2024. We remind you we are on social media, The Rome Show 1. That's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X, as well as 12OZ Sports. That's the number 12OZ Sports. Wherever you hang out on social media, remember to go to youtube.com/12OZ Sports and subscribe. Yesterday, there was reports coming out of University of North Carolina that Bill Belichick was going to be the head football coach of the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. Now, last week or so, there was a story that broke that Bill Belichick was at least entertaining the idea and interviewing for the UNC job. So yesterday, as things are starting to break, I start to do a little research, and I found, multiple places I found this, but I found one article on Newsweek that was able to give me a little bit of insight. So according to the reports, Bill Belichick, 72 years old, will be 73 when college football season starts in 2025, being the oldest head football coach in college football. If he takes the UNC job, here is what is being said about what Bill Belichick told the Tar Heels. The 72-year-old coach agreed to meet with UNC about their head coaching position and presented the university with a 400-page organizational Bible that contains a set of demands that he is unwilling to negotiate. Yes, you heard that correctly, people. 400-page document written by Bill Belichick, handed to University of North Carolina, stating his demands. If you do every single thing on these 400 pages, I'll be your head football coach, okay? According to the reports, Belichick's Bible, as they're calling it, which according to everything I've read, this is not the first time he's done this. He has his coaching manual and tailors it towards the place that he is interviewing for. According to this report and a few others, the Bible contains position, structure, payment plans, staffing choices, and salary minimums by position. Wait, it gets better. It would also require historic investment money-wise from the school. So I'm guessing that means NIL. And then on top of that, the school would have to commit to hiring a coaching staff and a recruiting staff by Bill Belichick, and his son would be the coach in waiting once Bill is done as the head football coach at UNC. Now, I have one very simple question to ask, and I understand how great of a football coach Bill Belichick is. I understand how Bill Belichick is the name on any coaching market right now. Good, bad, or indifferent, whether you believe he's great or you believe Tom Brady made him great or whatever side of that argument you come on, does not matter. The one thing everyone can agree right now, no matter what, if you have a head coaching position open in college or professional football, you would be doing your organization a disservice by not at least entertaining the option for Bill Belichick. That's a fact. When a great head coach is available, you see what you can do. And I'm not saying you got to go be the St. Louis Blues in the National Hockey League, who saw that Boston fired their head coach and then fired their head coach to hire that recently fired head coach by the Boston Bruins. I'm not saying you have to go that length either, but if Bill Belichick is available, you have to entertain it. How far are you willing to go, though? Okay? Because through the history of sports and the history of time, doesn't matter if it's professional or college, if we have allowed somebody to make the decisions for an organization, for a program, whether that's when Bill Belichick was the general manager of the New England Patriots as well as the head coach, and that didn't work out very well, okay? Whether that's a head football coach in college that gets to make every singular decision and they don't win many football games, or any other litany of examples that falls into that realm. Aaron Rodgers with the New York Jets. When have we ever seen it really be that a player or a coach who does more than just the playing or the coaching has ever worked out? Where we, as the common folk, feel that the player or the coach is running, quote unquote, the organization. That's never, ever worked. So I don't see the benefit here in this situation for UNC of hiring Bill Belichick. 400 pages, got to hire your son when you're done. All these contractual things, the finances, got to hire your staff. Hey, last time I checked, the University of North Carolina and their football program, but in general, their institution has stood for a lot longer than Bill Belichick has been alive, and they will stand for a lot longer after Bill Belichick is no longer here. So will their football program, and so will their athletics. So if I'm University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, I'm saying, hey, Bill, thanks, man. We really appreciate you taking the time. Super awesome that you considered this job, but at the end of the day, we're going to go ahead and keep it moving. Because I don't believe that anybody, seriously, maybe Nick Saban is the only person right now, at least in my mind, that if I was the athletic director at a college and I said, I want that one guy, and I'm willing to compromise on a lot of things so that that guy is happy, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, right now, off the top of my head, probably the only two dudes I would do that with if I was an athletic director in college football. Mikey, our dude, writes in, the Sun thing would make me say nope, and I'm pro Bill. And see, that's interesting to me because I'm in the middle here. I don't know if I'm a believer, if I still think that Bill Belichick should keep coaching, or if it's one of those things where it's like, dude, you had the run, you were Derek Jeter, you were the shortstop of the Yankees. Like, if you go play anywhere else, unfortunately, it's going to start to look worse. That is some kind of where I'm at with Bill Belichick. I'm like 65-35. 65, Bill, just stay on TV. It's been pretty enjoyable to watch you. Let's move on from the football coaching thing. And then I'm 35% like, I don't know, man. Part of me wants to see, can he do it? And honestly, like a car wreck that everyone shouldn't be looking at, but they are, I want to see it in college too. Like, is it going to work? I mean, I know everyone thought that exact same thing when it came down to Deion Sanders at Colorado. It's a different level of football in the Big 12. No, it is, but it's like, come on, man. If you can coach football, you can coach at any level. If you can recruit, you could recruit at any of the college levels. So I don't know if that would have been a factor, but at the end of the day, Mikey makes a great point, because even if you want to see Bill Belichick coach again, there's a little bit too much here that makes you really be excited. It's almost like, come on, man. Really? let's relax a little bit here. We get it. You're great. Mount Rushmore, possibly a football coach in the National Football League, but you ain't getting your 400-page list of demands. We have a list of things we're going to get through on this show today. So you got to stay with us here on the Rome Show. It's 12ouncesports.com. It's a Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. Want to remind the people, I hope you like my update to the studio. We got a little bit of a gnome guy sitting here, threw some lights up on the 12-ounce sign, and then we got our guy over here, Frank Gifford. We got a Frank Gifford bobblehead at the worst football game in the history of the National Football League on Sunday, Giants versus Saints. But Frank Gifford, one of the greatest running backs in the history of the National Football League. So we thought we'd start our bobblehead collection here on the desk, and Frank Gifford was the first one that we got. Head to RomeShowShop.com and get all your cool items this Christmas. Use promo code Christmas. I'm sure it'll fire the people up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, right now, we have some information in Major League Baseball that is pretty important. Okay, first things first, Max Fried signed with the New York Yankees yesterday. He signed an 8-year, $218 million deal. Nathan Eovaldi, the right-handed pitcher that has been a little bit of a journeyman, but he's not like, the last few years, he's really started to find his way. 2 All-Star appearances in the last 4 years. He re-signs with the Texas Rangers at 3 years and $75 million. And then the Texas Rangers made another move, acquiring for the corner infielder DH, Jake Burger from the Miami Marlins. He is now a Texas Ranger, and the Rangers seem to have possibly shored up their corner infield as well as their DH position. So looking to make a run back to a World Series is the Texas Rangers. They have Nathan Lowe and Josh Jung as their set right now in the infield to go along with the newly acquired Jake Burger. Some other news, nothing major. Tigers sign Alex Cobb. Giants sign Willie Adames. The Orioles signed Tyler O'Neill and Gary Sanchez, and then the Dodgers, Michael Conforto and Blake Trinan. We've talked a good amount. The World's talked a lot about the Juan Soto signing. And I want to say one thing before I wrap up my Major League Baseball updates today. I don't believe that there's anybody in the history of any professional sports that is worth $765 million. I cannot think of a person that is worth $765 million for the course of 15 years. Okay? I can't. But I want everyone to do a little bit of research. Okay? Go ahead onto the Google machine, and I want you to research the average annual value, the AAV, of the top basketball players in the NBA. Because you know what you're probably going to find? You're probably going to find that the top players in the National Basketball Association are making 50 a year, 51 a year, 54 a year. I think the difference is, and this is baseball's fault, this is just the way the game has gone. The difference with baseball is these contracts are 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. So you lose sight of the average annual value and you start looking at, oh my God, that guy just signed for $750 million. Yeah, he did over the next 15 years. So if you look at Steph Curry's career earnings, okay, and I know, I'm sure it's the last 10 over the first 8. I understand all of those things, right? But at the end of the day, look at the annual average value of a basketball player's contract. I think this year Steph Curry's making like $53 million for this season. The only difference is in the NBA, A, they ain't giving away 15-year deals. So B, these players are signing 1, 2, 3-year deals with player opt-ins. Contracts don't go beyond 5 years. I actually think that's an NBA rule. So that is where the difference in the sport is. And I would say if you look at baseball, Juan Soto's deal, Shohei Ohtani's deal, Aaron Judge's deal, Mookie Betts, the top paid guys, Mike Trout, the top paid guys in the league. You're going to look and say the top 10 or 15 players in the National Basketball Association year by year are making the same amount of money. It's just a lot different when I say I signed for 13 years, $475 million. Yeah, that's going to feel a whole lot different than when you break up the money over the course of Steph Curry's last 10 years of playing and go, 10 times 50 is 500. Oh, he made $500 million over 10 years. Oh, that's exactly what these baseball players are signing for. And again, I say all that to finish with, I don't believe anyone's worth $65 million. But it's just when you break it down and you look at the year by year, yeah, it's the most lucrative contract in North American professional sports history. But if he's at 56 a year, you got guys in the NBA at 53 a year, 52 a year, 51 a year. Like, he's not so dramatically above. It's just the overall cost association with the 15-year total, I think that sends people in a tailspin. But I'm telling you, go to Google, type in National Basketball Association salaries, average annual value, and it will look very similar to a lot of the highest paid Major League Baseball players. We're going to take a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, the NBA Cup quarterfinals. Let's go. And then a little bit of information on some crazy stuff that's going on in pro sports. If I don't get to it, I'll leave it for Thursday. Some break-ins, some weird stuff that I think needs to be talked about and is a little disturbing. As we get to our commercial break, you can look at your screen, and those are the stats for the aforementioned Max Fried, the newest signed member of the New York Yankees. You might not be excited, Yankees fans, that you lost Soto to the Mets, but you should be excited that you got one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, who is left-handed. And now you will have him presumably for the rest of his career to team up with Garrett Cole. The Rome Show, 12OZ Sports. We broadcast live on YouTube and X. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back. And we hope you're still with us. Sweet.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12-Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right. At 12-Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Yeah, it's the Rome Show, Christmasly spirited, here on 12ouncesports.com. We broadcast live on YouTube and X. We tell you this every time. You gotta subscribe. I gotta tell you, our Spotify subscribers went up like 2 or 3. Fire me up. Like I tell people all the time, sometimes you never know who's out there listening, but you know someone's listening. And it's not just our guy Mikey either, but we appreciate Mike because Mike writes in on the show, just like our guy 360 Management Services. You need to do more of that. We love when that happens. So go to youtube.com/12OZ Sports. And not only can you write in on the show, give me your opinions. You can tell me I'm stupid, whatever you want. You can also help grow the network, which is arguably the most important thing. Okay, I'm going to pop something up on your screen here. And I'm not going to lie to anybody. It's a little disturbing. It's nothing grotesque. It's a story about how on Monday Night Football, Joe Burrow's house was broken into, okay? Now, obviously break-ins happen, which is also disturbing, but this is not the first professional athlete in the last few months to get their house broken into, and I think that is starting to become the concern. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, as well as tight end Travis Kelce, after a game in October, came home to seeing their houses were destroyed. Bobby Portis, the Bucs forward in Milwaukee, early November had his. Mike Connolly in September had his burglarized while he was at a football game. And it caused both the National Football League and the NBA, as you look in your screen here, we have this up, to send memos to their league. But here's what's very concerning, okay? The Associated Press said the NFL homes and professional athletes across multiple sports have become increasingly targeted for burglaries by organized and skilled groups. The NBA revealed that the FBI has connected some burglaries, that's a terrible word to say, to transnational South American theft groups that are reportedly well-organized, sophisticated rings that incorporate advanced technique and technologies, including pre-surveillance, drones, and signal jamming devices. Some of the burglary groups have conducted extensive surveillance on targets, including attempted home burglaries and posing as grounds maintenance or joggers in the neighborhood, according to officials. Now, here's the problem, people. This is a real problem. This is scary because the bottom line is we know when professional athletes are going to be doing things, right? Their schedule, their work schedule is out in the open, right? And more so than anything else, you know when they're not going to be inside of their home because you're watching them on television. And so now in the succession of 3.5 to 4 months, we've had high-profile professional athletes broken into. It's super scary to say that the Federal Bureau of Investigation is stating that these are transnational groups breaking into pro athletes' homes. What do we do here, right? That is, first off, take sports out of it. Scary as hell, okay? So just to throw this out there, we are not a political show. We're not going to go on a political rant right now, but you should probably think about the people that exist around you and how much we need to know that they are safe and operating Americans that are doing the right thing. That is scary. So I feel terrible for these pro athletes. And at some point in time, these leagues might have to start, I don't know how, but protecting these players outside of just when they show up to the stadium or when they are choosing their own protection. It's kind of scary, though, to think you can't just be a pro athlete now and go throw the football on Monday Night Football because somebody's been surveilling your house and then trying to break in. Mikey's back. He said that's terrifying. We just assume every star is security, and I don't know if they do. And you know what, Mike, here's my thing, though. If they're using drones and they're using surveillance stuff to surveillance your house, it doesn't matter about your security, right? Like, at the end of the day, if you're a sophisticated enough group that's trying to break into one of these homes, which I would assume are very large homes that should be gated or protected, if you're spending your time, like another part of that article read, they were acting as joggers. They were pretending to deliver packages to the house. That's terrifying. That is scary. So now more than ever, do we need to work on what's going on the ground in this country? Because I at least have been alive. I use this example all the time. I haven't lived on this earth for the longest amount of time, but for the 34 years I've lived on this earth, there are things I've been seeing recently that I could never even think about having seen, I don't remember pro athletes getting broken into. Now, again, media different now than it was 25 years ago. But 4 high-profile professional athletes broken into in a 3.5-month span, and our government's telling us that they're might be organized, that's scary as hell. And you don't really know what to do. So prayers up for Joe Burrow. And honestly, if I'm a professional athlete right now, I'm throwing a lot of my money, especially if I have a family, at protection over anything else. As you see, Mikey's in on the topic here. I'm 28 and I feel like I'm an old man, LOL. Mikey, I feel that. I feel like a lot of people feel that, especially when I do a show at 7 o'clock in the morning. I want to play some highlights for you real quick before the show ends. Last night in the NBA Cup quarterfinals, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they defeated the Dallas Mavericks 118-104, led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 39, 8, and 3 steals. On the other colored courts, the Bucks defeated the Magic 114-109. So the Bucks continue their fantastic play, and the Thunder snap the Mavericks winning streak. So the Thunder and the Bucks, they move on to the semifinals. And we have 2 more games tonight. That is the Hawks at the Knicks and the Warriors at the Rockets. But before we go on, I want to show you what Dame Lillard did last night for the Bucks to seal the deal for his team. To be honest, there's been a lot of heat on Giannis and Dame since Dame was traded there last year, and not much has come to fruition with that roster, but they're starting to get healthy again. Things are starting to roll in the right direction. They've been playing really good basketball. Here's Dame Lillard last night, last 2 minutes. As you can see, they're down 102-101.
56 points total in the last 2
Goes to the line, knocks down 2.
Shot clock at 7. We're under a minute.
Down by 3. Step back, step back.
Step back 3.
Tie game.
Game time. We're tied. Vintage Damian Lillard. 9 times in the first 3 quarters.
Down again by 1 here.
Free throws in this
38 seconds left. Watch this. What defense?
Lillard on the drive. Lillard lays it in. Bucks lead.
Bucks up by 1.
The Bucks the lead. The C's part.
Where'd the defense go?
Just defensive breakdown.
One'll do it.
And then to seal the deal with 2.2 left, he knocks down both free throws and the Bucks win. This is exactly what the Milwaukee Bucks envisioned when Damian Lillard was traded to the Bucks. Some other information on this game. Kudos to the bench of the Magic because they really kept the team in this game. The bench for the Magic outscored the Bucks 44-37, but it was the combination of Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo that was unable to be stopped. Those two combined for 65 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds. Tonight, the NBA Cup continues, and we break it down. But first, we do the fun stuff, which is we play our favorite sounders.
Ba 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 na na, ba 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 na 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 na, ba 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 na na.
All right, and I've been popping the comments up on the screen. No Paolo Banchero last night for the Magic. Hasn't been playing for a minute, and they've been playing some pretty good basketball. Kudos to them. And I do agree, Mikey brought up some of the weird possessional calls. You know, I think I put this rant on social media the other day. If I didn't, I'm going to put it up on social media. But either way, head to the Rome Show 1, wherever you get your social media. The referees in every sport are really bad right now, and I think it's because the evolution of each sport has gotten so great. The rules have not evolved with the sport, therefore the officiating stinks on most nights in every single sport. All right, National Basketball Association, NBA Cup quarterfinals, New York Knickerbockers against the Atlantic Hawks, the Houston Rockets against the Golden State Warriors. We start in in New York, with Atlanta traveling to the Knicks. The Knicks are favored in this game by 7.5. Now, just for reference point, last night when I did my write-up for this show, the Knicks were favored by 6.5. So clearly, people are believing in the Knicks in this scenario. I just believe in the Hawks against the Knicks. No matter how good or bad the Hawks are, Trae Young, Joe Johnson, the group, they play really, really well. So I am going to take the Hawks here at the plus 7.5. Now, I believe the Knicks win, and part of me wants the Knicks to win, but I'm going to take the Hawks at the plus 7.5. Got to change my number on the paper. In the other game, the Warriors, they are underdogs at plus 1.5. So they got the Rockets favored by 1.5 versus the Warriors. Now, the way this thing works is in the quarterfinals, the home team hosts the first quarterfinal game, and then the semifinals and the finals, they go to Vegas, okay? So there is some type of travel and home court advantage that is supposed to be brought into this right now. Well, I don't think that matters for the Golden State Warriors, okay? Steph Curry has not made less than 3 threes in a game since November 8th. Yes, you heard that correctly. 33 days ago was the last time Steph Curry made less than 3 threes in a game. The Golden State Warriors are really finding it with their mesh of slightly old and new with a little bit of kind of veteranness. It's a really great situation right now in Golden State. And I think even though not an NBA championship, there's winning in the blood inside of that organization. When you get into a scenario where it's a tournament or you can win something important or something important over just a preseason or regular season game, they're going to fight. So I got the Golden State Warriors at the plus 1.5. And just to throw a little bonus in there, because I just told you that statistic, give me Steph Curry over 3 threes. I was thinking about taking him over 4 threes, but he's 4 of his last 8 games, he's been over 4 threes, but 8 of his last 8, he's been over 3 threes. So give me Steph Curry over 3 threes, Golden State plus 1.5, and the Hawks plus 7.5 as my daily bananas and my picks for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we call the Rome Show here. 12ouncesports.com, broadcasting live on YouTube and X. Follow me, follow the show, follow the station. Head to RomeShowShop.com. That's RomeShowShop.com. Promo code Christmas for your Christmas items. 12ouncesports.com. Subscribe to everything. Andrew Romanella. Have an electric day. And I'm going to say peace.
Thank you for listening.